Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about 3 GOP governors, D.C., and using troops as political props. In pursuit of Trump's moves in D.C. to put on a big show, 3 Republican governors are deploying troops to D.C. to help. Unintentionally, these governors gave the game away for Trump. These deployments demonstrate clearly that it's a political stunt and nothing more. The White House put out a fact check saying that things were out of control in D.C., and that's why Trump had to step in. In the fact check part, they said, quote, "In 2024, Washington, D.C. saw a homicide rate of 27.3 per 100,000 residents. That was the 4th highest homicide rate in the country, nearly 6 times higher than New York City, and also higher than Atlanta, Chicago, and Compton." Just a quick fact check of the fact check real quick. D.C. doesn't have the 4th highest rate in the U.S. I know. You'll say, but the White House showed a link to a study. Yes, and that study examines a grand total of 24 communities in the U.S. That's not exactly comprehensive, and they weren't picked to show the highest in the country. Do you really think Hartford, Connecticut has the 11th highest rates in the country? You know a city with a higher homicide rate than Hartford? Cleveland, Ohio, with 33.7. Wait, that's higher than D.C. too. Weird. It's almost like if a governor thought it was a good policy decision to deploy troops to the street to operate against Americans, they'd do it within their own state if the rates were even higher. If you haven't guessed, Ohio is one of the states sending troops. Well, surely that's just some weird fluke. Maybe we should back out and look at violent crime rates instead. Oh wait, I see why they didn't do that. The rate per 100,000 in Cleveland is 1,550. Dayton is 1,325. And Toledo is 1,048. What's D.C.? Doesn't even break 1,000. Governors deploying troops for this under the guise of some massive crime surge are clearly demonstrating it's not about that. If it was really that, they would have deployed them in their own states years ago. But they didn't. So if it's really something that's necessary, did they fail in their duty before? The excuse, of course, will be that they have to because they got a letter requesting it. Also, weird, Vermont's Republican Governor Phil Scott refused to send his state's National Guard to D.C. to be used at best as props, at worst to operate against Americans. I should note, he said he politely declined the request. This isn't about crime. It's about politics. Republicans are using troop deployments to the streets of the United States as a political stunt. When the inevitable incident happens, remember, there was no reason for them to even be on the streets. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.